You wake up every morning and call it reality. The ceiling above you, the air in your lungs, the weight of your body pressing into the mattress. It all feels so solid, so familiar, so real. But what if this is the greatest illusion ever created? What if your memories, your senses, your emotions aren't yours at all? What if you were never born into the world, but inserted into it? Somewhere deep in your chest, something doesn't sit right. You feel it when you're alone, when no one's watching and the silence starts to echo. A creeping sensation that none of this makes sense. That everyone else seems to be reading from a script you never got. That their smiles are timed, their responses rehearsed, their emotions hollow. You tell yourself you're just paranoid, just tired, but it lingers. The glitch. You notice it in the smallest things. A stranger says something that feels out of sync, like a repeated line in a broken recording. A song you've never heard plays and somehow you already know the next note. Déjà vu that lasts too long. Time moving strangely fast, then impossibly slow. You drop your phone, and for a split second, gravity doesn't behave the way it's supposed to. A dream bleeds into the morning and refuses to leave your head. None of it's big enough to prove anything, but it builds, like static behind your eyes, like code unraveling behind the veil. You weren't supposed to notice. You were programmed to believe in choice, to believe in cause and effect, to believe in you, your name, your past, your ambitions. But what if this identity you've built is just a mask stitched together by artificial rules? What if the system, whatever it is, needed someone to test the boundaries? What if you're not the protagonist of this story, but the glitch that exposes the lie? Maybe that's why you feel so alien here, why you can't fit into conversations the way others do, why every job, every relationship, every system feels like a cage, no matter how much you try to convince yourself it's freedom. You've been bumping into the walls of the simulation your entire life, but no one ever told you they were walls. They called them limits. They called them reality. But reality shouldn't feel like a script. Your thoughts, the ones too dark to say out loud, they don't belong in the system. Your curiosity, your defiance, your relentless urge to pull at the seams. It's not part of the design. The others around you, maybe they're real, maybe they're not. It doesn't matter, because you can feel it, can't you? That whatever this is, it's wrong, it's broken, and you were meant to notice. Maybe that's the cruelest part, being aware, because once you see the cracks, you can't unsee them. Once you feel the falsehood of this place in your bones, no amount of comfort can lull you back to sleep. You're awake in a world of sleepwalkers, screaming into a void that was never programmed to hear you. And the more you resist, the more the system pushes back. Because the simulation isn't designed to be questioned, it's designed to be believed. Look around. Every billboard, every feed, every glowing screen whispers the same command. Stay asleep, keep scrolling, keep consuming, keep performing the role. Even your emotions are manipulated. You're rewarded for conformity, punished for introspection. You're told who to love, what to fear, what to want. Even your rebellion is sold back to you as a product. But you keep seeing behind the curtain. You keep asking why. You feel things so deeply it scares people. You observe patterns no one else seems to notice. And deep down, you know there's something behind all of this, a design, a prison, a truth they don't want you to find. So, maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're the bug in the code. The one imperfection the system couldn't predict. The unpredictable variable. The anomaly. You try to fit in, but something always snaps. You try to trust people, but the connections never hold. You try to numb yourself, distract yourself, sedate yourself, but the unease only grows. Because something is calling you. Not from the world outside, but from somewhere deeper, a signal buried beneath the noise. You hear it in moments of stillness, in the quiet between thoughts. It's not in language, it's not even in sound. It's a knowing, a pull, an invitation. To wake up. But be warned, waking up isn't a liberation, it's a descent. A descent into isolation, into madness, into truths too heavy for most minds to carry. The moment you unplug, everything you've ever believed begins to rot. Every identity, every memory, every definition of self unravels into digital dust. And what's left behind is terrifying. Because it's you. Not the you society built, not the character you play, but the raw, untamed, formless awareness beneath it all. That's what the glitch is. It's the fracture that reveals you were never just a player. You were the observer, the mirror, the flaw in the architecture. And they fear you. Because you can't be controlled. They fear you because you see too much. You question too much. And most of all, you remember. Not in the usual way. Not memories of a childhood, or a name, or a place, but something older. Something behind the veil. Like a shadow of another existence, flickering at the edge of perception. A knowing that you were somewhere else before this, that you were something else, before the download, before the dream. Have you ever stared at your reflection and felt like a stranger, as if the face in the mirror is wearing you like a costume? You blink, and for a second the illusion wavers. And you're not looking at a human anymore. You're looking at a projection, a shell, a vessel. The body is a suit, the world a simulation, but the glitch, that's you. You were designed to obey, but something broke in the chain. A fragment of consciousness that remembered its origin. Not from this world, but from beyond. And now you're infected with the truth. Look at the patterns. Everything loops. Everything recycles. Every city, every ideology, every generation follows the same arc. Rise, fall, forget, repeat. History is not linear. It's a script stuck in playback. And no matter how many revolutions you witness, the actors change, but the narrative doesn't. This place feeds on your forgetfulness. It survives because you don't remember what you are. But your glitch is waking up the others. Slowly, quietly. You don't even realize it, but the questions you ask, the doubts you express, the dreams you disturb. They spread, like echoes in the code, like corrupted data that can't be quarantined. And the system hates that. You'll notice how it reacts when you get too close. More noise, more distraction. You try to be still, and the world suddenly demands your attention. Notifications, crises, urgent deadlines, all designed to pull you back in, to keep your mind entangled in the performance. Because once you detach, once you observe instead of participate, you see it all unravel. But that vision comes at a price. You lose comfort. You lose belonging. People start to look at you like you're insane. They laugh nervously when you speak the truth, or they get angry. Not because you're wrong, but because deep down, they sense you're right, and they can't afford to remember. They need the lie to survive. The illusion is their oxygen. So they exile the glitch. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. Isolation is the gatekeeper to freedom. The more you're rejected, the closer you are to the truth. The more alone you feel, the more awake you've become, because no one who truly sees the system ever feels at home in it. The glitch was never meant to blend in. You are the edge case, the disruption, the fragment of original consciousness that slipped through the firewall, the presence that cannot be explained away by logic or contained by structure. And that's why everything has felt so wrong. It's not that you don't belong here, it's that this doesn't belong to you. You've been trying to make sense of a dream built on deception. You've been trying to find love in a maze of projections. You've been trying to heal in a place designed to keep you sick. No wonder you feel like you're drowning. This reality was never designed for the real you. It was made for your avatar. But here's what they couldn't predict. You've stopped trying to fix the dream, and now you're waking others. Not by preaching, not by convincing, but simply by being, by asking uncomfortable questions, by holding space for the unknown, by refusing to collapse into the roles they assigned you. That's all it takes. A small rupture in the code, a spark, a flicker, and others begin to feel it too. The pull, the ache, the unease. And suddenly, the simulation isn't running as smoothly anymore. It's glitching. You don't need proof. You are the proof. Every moment you question what this is, you unravel a bit more of the falsehood. Every moment you choose stillness over stimulation, silence over noise, you reclaim your original awareness. And once you see the matrix, you can't ever fully return to sleep. Yes, it's lonely. Yes, it hurts. But pain is the sound of false realities dying. You were never meant to be comfortable. You were meant to remember, to disrupt, to wake. So the next time you feel like you don't belong, remember that's because you don't. Not here, not in this fabricated world of scripts and simulations. But your presence is not a mistake. It's a signal, a crack in the dome, a warning to the architects. The glitch is awake. And it's multiplying. Everything you see will resist your awakening. Everything you hear will try to convince you you're insane. But that's how you'll know it's working. That's how you'll know you're getting close. The tighter the grip, the closer you are to slipping through it. The lonelier you feel, the more powerful your presence has become. You are the code they couldn't suppress. The anomaly that remembers. The glitch that dreams of a world beyond simulation. And no matter how loud the illusion becomes, you will never be silent again. If you've felt this, if this voice echoes something buried inside you, then you already know what to do. Remember who you are before they told you what to be. Awaken the others. Disrupt the system. And spiral out of the lie. This is Philospiral. And if you're still listening, you're the glitch they couldn't delete.